my god.
Alright, go back. I don't know where I left off. It's like, what's up, guys? Welcome to the pod. It's me and Victor.
Hi. Two beans and a car.
Two beans in a car.
Normally we'll do this in front of the cars once it gets warmer, but
yeah,
you know.
it's a little cold. It's like 35 or so degrees.
Yeah, something like that.
It's 8:14, but we gotta get this video done. Oh shit!
Yeah.
The lights turned off.
The what?
The lights, outside lights.
Oh yeah. Damn, my car looks menacing.
You just see Victor's halos on, and it looks weird.
It looks so like
Scary.
demonic. Yeah, it looks a little weird. Behind the camera, we have Amber, but she's just chilling right now.
She waved.
She waved like you could see her.
Anyway, all right.
Anyways, yeah.
Get to the point. We're starting off this podcast to talk with mainly local people at first
Yes.
and get to know them, because we know that everybody usually goes to Cars and Coffee, Slam Dunk Nashville, Import, Slush, whatever local event, and you usually see cars around there, and you're like, damn, this car's cool. Like, I wonder how the owner is, because half the time the owners aren't there.
Yeah.
Or around their cars, at least. And, well, yeah, we're going to try and get most of the cool cars that are local around here, get to know whoever owns it, backstories behind the cars, maybe some adventures they've had with the cars.
Some OGs in the game that you've probably seen go from car to car, but they always build them nice. So
Bring some old people back as well.
Yeah, some retired people.
Yeah. But yeah.
I guess it's only fair we introduce ourselves, right? Like,
Yeah,
what,
let you go first.
who we are. Who do you want to go for? You want to go first?
You go first.
Me go first?
Yeah.
I'm Victor, obviously, a.k.a. Rojas Productions. I'm the guy usually behind the camera, so, like, you'll usually see me doing a crab walk or leaning down and my ass is all up in the air.
Crab walk is crazy.
Crab walking. Yeah, because I have the gimbal and stuff. You know?
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough.
So I've gotten the pleasure to meet, like, a whole bunch of car owners and their cars and shot a lot of y'all's favorite cars around Nashville. So I drive a 370Z. I wide-bodied it. It's currently black with custom headlights. And I'm rocking some deep dish wheels, bagged, obviously. And I'll go more into detail later, whenever we get, like, to the segment where we talk about the cars. But just the overall, I drive 370. I'm a camera guy. And most people don't know, but during the day, I'm actually a finance person. I'm an accounts payable coordinator. So I work downtown. So, yeah, my life is pretty easy. I wish, bro. I wish. But what about you?
Well, my name's Nelson, which most of y'all probably already know, or Nelly Z33. I got that backwards. Z33 Nelly. Anyways, I drive an 05 350Z drift car. It's not a show car whatsoever. It looks cool in pictures, but once you see it in person, you're a little bit like, eh. But yeah, I mean, I'm mostly just here because I tend to know a lot of the people in the area. Guess I'm more of the talkative guy, in a way.
I guess you are,
yeah, in a way, and communicate to everybody. What else? Let's see.
You're a drifter. Like,
yeah, I did say it's a 350Z drift car. Let's slide around in this. Yeah, apart from drifting, I'm a mechanic at a local shop down in Nashville. I just do all sorts of mechanical work. And, yeah, I guess just drifting's the side hobby. For now.
For now, till you go pro.
I don't plan on going pro whatsoever. I don't know if you want to get into that segment, but...
You're going to tell your daughter, like, I could have gone pro if it wasn't for the accident at 99.
99 is crazy. She's going to do the math. Be like, you weren't even born yet.
You're like, something ain't adding up, bro.
Exactly. If
Alrighty.
I do it that way, I'm doing it this way. We're doing it for the video.
Yeah, bro. I can't lift the other foot up.
God. There you go. And then it's just like a little funny clip and it goes beep. That's
Most
crazy.
people won't get it, but
They won't get it, but if you know, you know.
if you know, you know.
Alright, so
Alright, so basically, I guess we can go in depth of like our cars and what we actually do with our cars, and what our plans are. So, you mentioned you're drifting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why the Z? I know you had the Miata and stuff, but
So I decided to do the Z because it's, in my opinion, which actually is probably a lot of people's opinion, it's basically the cheater car at this moment. It's either between that or some sort of Corvette. They make easy power. The parts for them are pretty much everywhere. They're usually affordable, and they take a beating if you take care of them. But, I mean, realistically, that was it. The Miata, I wanted to drift on it, but since it was originally a stance car, and it was extremely low, by the time, like, I wanted to get into drifting, in my opinion, I thought the frame wasn't going to hold up. I thought there would be a lot of, like, chassis spending, and I would have to reinforce a lot of stuff, because a lot of the underneath, like, the frame rolls were just either shaved or bent and beat up. And I was like, it's not, I don't even think it's safe enough to do it. Let alone, I kind of almost didn't fit in the car. Like, I'd sit in it and I'd be in it fine. But if I were to be tandeming and get into an accident, I'm sure I would have, like, broken at least my left arm. Like, if
really?
it was, yeah, because
damn,
my shoulder was almost sitting right on the door panel itself. So it was a little bit more sketchy, you know? I feel like that it would be good for people a little bit shorter, probably a bit skinnier because I am on the chubbier side.
we
But
eat good.
I know we do eat good. But yeah, I mean, the Z chassis, or realistically any VQ chassis, it's probably just about the easiest chassis you can do at the moment to drift. They're everywhere. The pricing on them is starting to drop. I've seen a couple of them for $2-3 grand, and they're not like the greatest car, but they're good car you can just
On
buy.
Marketplace?
Yeah.
Damn,
You
where?
Dude, I saw one the other day. It was like $3 grand. It had like 170 something miles on it. It was stock, but it was like, I mean, you could buy it, do all the preventative maintenance on it, like the actual VQ maintenance, like the valve covers. If you have a VHR or HR, the gallery gaskets, if you do all that, you keep up with it and like check the oil every once in a while. They do last.
The oil gallery gasket cost me an engine.
Yeah, it's the major thing on yours. On mine, it's the valve covers. I mean, I've already done them, so I'm chilling for a good amount, probably about a year or two.
Alright, so you mentioned you had the Miata. What car did you have before that? I think most people know you from that.
Yeah. No, I think the Miata was peak.
I met you with the Miata.
Yeah, I think the Miata was peak. But I had a, what was it, a 98 Civic Hatch. It had a B16A, a built B16A with a GSR stock trans. It wasn't a crazy car. It was a fun car that when I got it, like, I somewhat got it already with the motor, but not really at the same time.
How?
I got it with the motor in it, but it wasn't running.
Aw.
It had a bent valve, I think, on cylinder. They're the exhaust valves. I think it was 1 and 2 that had bent. So I took it apart and had a friend of mine help me rebuild it. We got the whole, like, everything machined, ordered. Sorry, I got burp.
That was good timing.
It
Because
was
I
good
was
timing.
like, yeah.
That's funny. But I did ACO rod bearings, main bearings. It had Nippon Racing pistons in it. It had Type R cams for the head. It had, I believe it was Blocks Racing, springs, and valves. It was kind of a Frankenstein car because we built the engine based off all the spare parts my friend had laying around.
That's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
like
mean,
a lot of
it
people
was-
do that though.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, and then, like, if it was a fun car, it probably made, like, 200 horsepower, if that.
It was
If
cute.
that, dude. It was on a chipped P28 ECU that was tuned by Jason Waters down in Atlanta. And, like, it was a fun car. But, I mean, that's about it. It was just a stance car, really. Was it a stance? Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of popped out with that car though. Like that's I feel
Yeah,
like
but it's because I feel like I took that car in a completely wrong route, in my opinion. Like, years after, well, not even years, because it was probably a couple years since I've owned it. But, like, after I got rid of it, I feel like I went the wrong route with it because it had a good motor that was probably ready for boost and ready to actually take a beating, like on an actual like drag strip.
Okay.
Or even just on the streets. We don't condone that either way. But instead of doing that, I turned it into a stance car and just slammed it on the ground. And it, like, in a way, kind of just put that whole built motor, like, it made it pointless.
Yeah.
Like, there was no need for it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could have just got another stock motor and slapped it in there. And, like, that thing was, like, damn near full track car. Like, it had no AC, no heat. It had, like, the manual windows where you had to roll them up on your own.
Oh.
It had all interior, though, so I guess that it saved me a little bit with the coldness, but I would have to sometimes sit in there with a blanket.
Oh.
Not gonna lie. But yeah, I missed that car.
So what about the Civic?
What do you mean it's like the Miata?
No, the car before that.
For the Civic? Oh, for the Civic, I had a, what was it called again? A Sentra SER Spec V.
A Sentra? What?
This is an underrated ass car, though.
I didn't know you owned this. What?
Yeah, so it's a SER Spec V Sentra, which are 6-speed manual. They have I think it's, I don't know what fucking motor it is. It was a 2.5 liter. It's what Nissan made to be like a family sporty car.
Yeah.
It's that one that has that front end that looks like the R33 GTR. If you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
It had one of those, but I never got it to run right. It would just misfire, rev on its own, and I got rid of it. I actually traded it for the Civic. And yeah, so I traded a running car for a non-running car because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And I had a feeling that Hondas would be a lot easier, which it turned out to be great. Like, way better than I expected. That Sentra, the dude who I traded it with, actually fixed all the issues, put a built trans in it, and was racing it on the streets somewhere up in Springfield, Tennessee. And the last I heard of it, it was on Marketplace because he blew out third gear.
Oh.
But as far as I know, that thing is still running and out there somewhere. It had, like, a lot of good parts, too. Like, it had actual Nismo headers. Apparently, Nismo had a whole catalog for that car as well.
What?
Yeah, it had, like, Nismo headers, full Nismo exhaust. Yeah, it had, like, some sub in there for some reason. I don't know. I already had it when I got that. But yeah, it had, like, it had some, like, weird wheels on it. I don't know. I had bought it as, like, a fun little shit car. I paid, like, $1,000 for it or something like that.
Oh, my God.
Dude, this was, like, 2017, back when cars were cheap.
Oh, dude, I bet.
Oh, my leg got tired. Damn, it's sliding. But yeah.
So then you got the Civic, then you got the Miata, and now you're on the Z.
Yeah.
What's next after the Z?
I don't really think I'm gonna get rid of the Z.
Ever.
I don't plan on it. I feel like if I end up crashing a car or something, I'm probably just gonna tube the chassis.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought about this the other day. I don't even think about doing the LS swap anymore. As much as I want to, I kind of want to just keep a VQ in it and keep it reliable. Dude, that thing's a street car. Me and Amber have driven that car for 6+ hours straight, with zero issues as it's like on its current setup. Full drift, like double the diff, hydro, everything. I've still driven it 6 hours.
God damn.
Zero issues whatsoever. No check engine light. None of that. No, not even debeating.
What?
When I first got the car, it was in the shit condition. But either way, I drove it, 7 hours with Brian to Kentucky to pick up some coilovers. 7 hours there, 7 hours back. It was like 14 hours in that car.
No overheating.
No overheating, nothing. It had a misfire on cylinder 5. Cylinder 5 was misfiring. So I drove it there on 5 cylinders and back with zero issues.
That's insane.
It still did 80 like it was nothing. I was amazed. I don't know if you want to go into the whole backstory of that one yet.
That didn't sound like a trumpet then, huh? With the little misfire.
No, it had the Nismo catalog exhaust on it at the time. It was actually very raspy because my cat's, like, not that the cat itself broke, but the actual tubing of what the cat Because you know how
Yeah.
test pipes are. They go like this. It had snapped the flange off.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
it was just exhaust like leaked down. Instead of fixing it, I decided to go buy coilovers for some reason. Those coils are still on the car too.
What coils do you have on?
They're Broadway Static, the OGs, back when they're still partnered with Fortunato.
Damn.
But we'll get into that later, I guess.
Yeah, we can go into that. Damn.
So, we'll talk about yours now.
I guess. Yeah. Dude, I've had so much trouble with this damn car. So, like...
know.
Some of you guys may remember, like, when I first got the Z, I got it from CarMax, and within a week, the diff blew. So, I was going 80, and I kept hearing...
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the hell is that noise? I turned down the volume. I thought it was the engine, trans. I was like, no way, I'm in an automatic. Like, what the hell?
You almost pulled a D.
Nah, for real. So I was like, no freaking way.
That's crazy.
And I was like, and the traction light kept, like, flashing at me. And I was like, I'm stock. Like, it's literally, like off the lot.
Yeah.
So I went to CarMax, and I left it there. And I was like, look, bruh. They told me they opened it up. They found shavings all over in the diff. And I was like, all right, well, what are you going to do? And they're like, well, we're going to give you a loaner. Come back in, like, 2-3 weeks. We'll put a brand new diff on there.
Pause. It takes them 2 weeks to swap out a fucking diff? Holy shit.
That's CarMax for you, bro.
Done in a day at my shop. Anyways, keep going.
So they called me a week later, and they're like, yeah, so we don't have just the diff, but we're going to have to replace, like, your entire back end, because they made us some bullshit excuse. And I was like, hey, bro, if you give me more brand new parts, I'm down for it, because I'm not paying for it.
That's funny.
And they're like, all right, bet. So I have a brand new diff with diff bushings and everything, like, in the back. Like, the whole rear end is, like, brand new. And I was like, all right, bet. Got the car back 3 weeks later after that. So I was a month without a car.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me, like, this shitty, like, Kia Sorento, which smelled horrifically. It feels like somebody, like, left it in the rain with the windows down.
I know what you mean.
And it just smells so, like,
I've done that.
mold. Anyway, a horrible car, but then I drove the car, and then I was just vibing. I went to Smyrna to go bowl with some friends, and literally on the way back, I was actually racing FRZ Colorado Michi, which now has the wide body FRS, going 80, and my reverse lights pop up, and my reverse camera turns on the screen, because I have a Sport Tech. And I was like, that's weird. Like, did I push a button? Like, why is my reverse camera on while I'm going 80? So I'm stupid enough, and I'm like, vroom, still going up 90, 100, 10. And all of a sudden, I feel the car jerk, like, boom. And then all of a sudden, check engine light, revs go down, speed goes down, but the car is still driving.
Oh.
So, like, all the electronic just decided to just stop. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, all right, I'm not even going to go home. I'm going straight to CarMax, leaving the car there, because I don't want to risk it.
Mm-hmm.
I leave the car there. They tell me, we're probably going to have to check the transmission. They check it. Obviously, it wasn't the problem. So it's like, okay. They're like, okay, we're going to check the electrical harness. Something burnt. Because all my fuses started popping. And I was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah. Turns out it was kind of my fault.
How?
Earlier that day, I was swapping out the exhaust. But because there was a meet at the Smyrna bowling alley, I didn't finish putting on the muffler back on. Like the straight pipe. And nor the tip. So it was literally just the Y pipe with 2 empty holes. Literally.
That's funny.
So it was literally just hitting like the heat shield in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm driving and doing pulls and revving, it heated up the back end of the car, which fused the tail lights together. So my brake light and my reverse light started meshing together. That caused the sensor to go back into the front of the car by saying, every time he brakes, the reverse camera pops up.
Yeah.
And then, since that sensor was putting up on the screen, it was telling my transmission to do the same. And since my transmission was doing it, all the fuses were like, why is he braking? Why is he reversing while going 80?
It just started shorting out everywhere.
Yeah, so it was kind of my fault, but CarMax didn't know that.
But they do now.
So, they do now. But when I took it there, they were like, Yeah, we'll fix it. So I ended up getting a brand new electrical harness for the whole car,
Holy shit!
completely free.
I'm
Because
surprised they still even have that in stock.
they ordered it. It was in the shop for 3 months. So I got my favorite car I ever driven to this day, which was a Hyundai Sonata.
Why is that your favorite car of all cars?
Because it's low-key a Tesla.
Oh yeah, I've seen the electronics in it.
Yeah, it has the lane, so you don't have to
Yeah.
drive it. It has, you turn on cruise control, so it drives for you, and it steers, and literally has a big screen and heated seats and massage seats. For a Kia, like, Sonata, I loved it. I was like, oh, we went to GAT. I came back. I was like, bruh, like, I was vibing with that car until they're like, hey, your car's ready. And I was like, I bet. But yeah.
You want to trade the Z in?
Build a Kia, bro?
Honestly, I know there's this one dude who's got a nice. I don't think it's Sonata though. His Instagram's static static K5, I think it is. It's some wide body Kia. I think it's fucking nice. But it's that one Kia that went famous for the
for the stance.
Yeah, and it had the spare
wing or
no, yeah, but it had the spares. It was on the way to GAT, and it was driving on 4 spare tires all the way there with like -15 degrees.
oh hell no!
And he made it. He made it there, cause he was in one of the group chats that I'm in. And he made it. I don't know how, but he made it.
That's insane.
On like actual donut spares. Not like full size wheels, like donut spares. That shit was wild.
On negative what? Like
It had some crazy camera. I've had to look in the old messages to find it. It's gonna take me a while to find it.
no, but yeah. After that, I was a takeover kid with the Z.
No, we know. No, you were a takeover kid since you got it.
Yeah, since I got it, and then
God.
Nelly was there too at some meet.
No, wrong. It was me, Ishmael, and a couple of the homies that we went to go fuck around in our cars. This is right after I got my welded diff too. So we all went to go just like for fun.
Yeah.
And then apparently there was a meet that same day, and then we just got swarmed with a whole bunch of people. Amber was there too, which is the funny part. That was the first time me and Amber went to go slide around like together.
Aww.
Because I was
It's a cute date idea.
I think I was just like, hey, you want to go slide the Z with Ishmael and that? So that's what we had to go do, and then just a whole bunch of people showed up.
To be fair, I got paid with Dutch Bros.
She did get paid with Dutch Bros.
With Dutch Bros?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good
Yeah.
good payment.
As long as I have my drink, I'll go in
Unpopular opinion, Dutch Bros over Starbucks.
I agree with you. But it's just so expensive. Like, it gets expensive quick.
This is gonna get clipped. I already hear it. Nelly said that Dutch Bros is better than Starbucks.
You should start a poll on Instagram and be like, Dutch Bros or Starbucks?
Honestly,
Dutch Bros is a movie.
If you make a clip out of it, I'll make a poll. Alright, anyways, go back to your story.
So, back to the Z, like, I finally got it back after, like, I think that first year, I drove the car 1,000 miles, and on paper,
no
I
way.
owned it maybe, oh no, I think the breaker's popping.
I don't think so. I don't see why.
Yeah,
it
because the
would.
heater turned off too.
Well, these have automatic things, no?
I think they do have automatic things.
Yeah,
They'll turn on. I'm still lit. We lit.
yeah, it doesn't look like it costs too much.
Yeah.
If anything, put that one behind the camera.
That's still pretty good. But yeah, after that, takeover kid for a little while. And then I was like, you know what, I should probably take care of my car. So I stopped going to takeovers, especially when that whole like raid thing and the Metro decided to pull out the street racer initiative because they got so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a couple stories about that with the Z. And that wasn't even in Metro. That was here in Laverne.
What, Laverne? Oh shoot!
I don't know, dude. You care if I just cut into your segment?
Dude, go for
Alright,
it. I don't care.
Long story short, it was right before Cars and Coffee, right? Yeah, because that's the reason I was washing the car. We were washing the cars. It was cold. I do remember. No, it wasn't. Was it hot?
It was cold.
It was cold, but anyways, I was washing the car because the next day was Cars and Coffee, as you usually do. Anyways, we're coming home. Amber's in a different car than me. She's actually in front of me, We get to a stop sign, and as it's like a hill, and then the stop sign's over here, so I'm still a good ways from it. I'm riding with the heat all the way on and windows down. That's just how I like it. And there's another street on this side, so I passed the cop like this, basically. She was just sitting there because they also had to stop. They pull behind me. I get to the stop. Amber turns right to the back road to get to the house. So then I turn right, and then like within 2 feet of me turning right, just lit up. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing anything. Like legit, not doing anything. And so she pulls me over. She comes up to me, and like at first she was kind of being sassy.
It's a she.
Yeah.
Was it the famous Laverne cop?
No, it wasn't that one. I think. No, I don't think so. No. Part of me wants to say I think she's the one that snitched. Because at the time, I think there were only like 3 Laverne, like female cops or something like that. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But back to that one.
Ro was a victim.
I turned. They pull me over. I text Amber. I'm like, hey, I'm getting pulled over. She's like, yeah, I know. She drives off. At this time, we were at the car wash with Caleb.
Okay.
So Caleb gets home because he lived at that time right by the car wash. So I text Caleb immediately. I'm like, hey, I got pulled over. I'm probably gonna need you to come get the car because like they're gonna try and get me for something.
Yeah.
She comes up to me, and at first it was tint, and then I'm like, well, one, it's like 8:00 at night. There's no way you can tell what my tint is based off like me passing by with my windows down. Like they were halfway down, probably like you could probably see like half of my face. And like in my head I'm just like how does that make sense? It's nighttime, regardless of what tint you have on your car during nighttime, it's just dark in general.
Yeah.
And so I guess she finally saw that I wasn't like trying to be an asshole about it. Like I was like genuinely confused. So she kind of like coughed off the actual reason. She's like, oh well, she did the whole tint, like checked the thing.
Really?
She was like, oh, you have limo tint, and I was like, well, I don't know. I told her I kind of lied. I was like, I just got it tinted, and I told her to give me 25%. And she's like, well, you have 0, and I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, I'll take care of it, I guess. And then she goes, as I'm waiting for Caleb to come pick it up. For another reason, she starts talking to me, and she's like, well, where were you coming from, this and that. I was like, oh, I was at the car wash with a couple friends, you have Cars and Coffee tomorrow. And then she's like, oh, what's Cars and Coffee? She's like, I've been invited to it because she had a scat or something like that. And then I was like, oh, like jokingly I said, oh, your scat probably was at the takeovers. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm gonna be honest with you though. I pulled you over because we had a call that there was a blue car like yours doing donuts at one of the warehouses nearby.
Oh.
And I was like, was it a 350Z? She said, yeah. Well, she said that it was a Nissan Coupe, which makes sense. There's 370Zs, 350Zs. Shit, it could have been an
Altima.
The two-door Altimas could have been one of those. But anyways,
cookie trays.
I was like, well, can you at least call to make sure that it's not like, because I know it's not me, but I want you to know that it's not me.
That's not you.
I was like, just call it in, like it's fine, I don't care. And I was like, if to make it easier, tell him if it had a white wing, because at the time I still had my wing on. She calls it in, and it comes back. It's like, oh.
Why do we feel like we should be the ones talking? Like.
I didn't think about that. Did not think about that. I don't know. I kind of, at least for me, I've always kind of been in the scene around here. Not like as a main character or whatever you want to call him.
The main
But
character.
I've always been to the meets. I've just never, I'm not one to post about it all the time. I'll be at the meets and like just walk around by myself or with Amber.
Oh.
So like a lot of the big events or big stuff that happened back in the OG meets. I was probably there for most of them, including all the ones that like got shot up and stuff.
I remember those.
So like I've got a good amount of stories, and I know I've met a lot of people through the Miata, the Civic, and the Z.
Especially the Z. The Z community is huge here.
The whole VQ scene. But I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like there's only good stuff about me is I've been just about everywhere around here. I know a lot of people from here. So
I feel like
Yeah, I
people
don't know.
also kind of respect that of you. Like they see your account, see your name,
Yeah.
your car. They're like, oh yeah, he builds good cars.
yeah, and then if you go all the way back, you see that it's like I've been at it for a good minute. Never really like stopped.
It's the complete opposite for me. Like people don't believe in the vision until they see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro. Same with like my gray Infinity. Like nobody believed in me.
I mean, the only bad thing about that car was the blast pipes.
Yeah, I know.
That was the only thing bad about that car. Other than that, it was actually kind of decent.
I wish I had better wheels though, but it's hard to get 20s.
I mean, yeah, it's very hard.
And it's hard to like really dial in the coilovers because you have like, I mean, a Z coilover is like this big, like the actual.
Yeah,
coil.
those like this.
Mine was this big.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
it's like,
you had BCs, didn't you?
yes, and I had
You
to get them
probably-
custom made. Because they don't.
How long
make
of a shock did you ask for?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I could probably find the order, but
That's probably what it was. Usually, because you'll max them out before the shock. Like, how to say this? You'll max them out and they'll still be high, just because the shock is so long that it maxes out and it still has like a lot of room.
yeah.
I'm only saying this because right now I'm in the process of like. Barbary Statics used to be a part of Fortunato. They split, so the OG people who have the older model coilovers.
Yeah.
Now, for us to get replacement shocks, we have to contact Fortunato, which I found this out about myself because I can't find anyone else who's been trying. Like, I guess everybody just bought new ones, but my front ones are still good, and I didn't want to spend more money on getting whole new coilover sets.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Fortunato, talked to them about it. They're like, "Oh, we need you to measure the shock, tell us what spring rates, or not spring rates, but what they were valved to." Luckily, when I got them, the dude literally gave me the whole spec sheet.
Oh.
So I'm
Good.
literally like telling them information as I'm going. And then it turns out they're like, "Oh yeah, we still make this shock. You can just order it directly off the website for $300, which
What?
is $100 more than what Broadway Static used to sell them for, because I did get a replacement one a long time ago. But either way, like, if you have all those specs, and you tell them, they'll make them. And then back to the shock thing, I had to tell them it was an 8-inch shock, like length.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, that's the standard size." He's like, "If you want to, like, be lower, I guess an extreme low shock, I think it's like a 5-inch shock or something like that."
Okay.
But it literally just sits your car, like, on the ground. You can, like, max it all the way up, and it'll still sit low. But it's due to how small the shock is.
Yeah.
But then I'm assuming it probably rides kind of funny, because it's, like, not much travel length and
Yeah.
whatnot. But either way, I'm assuming if you would have done...
Had like an extra low, like a 5-inch. Or
You probably could have. You could have probably told them to just give you a Z or G spec, like style coilover for the rear. You probably could have made it somewhat.
Because I was
lower.
running a little bit of camber, like the stock, like camber plate thing.
Yeah.
Which is like what,
The
2
factory.
degrees, 3 degrees,
It's like
if
3, I
that.
think.
So I maxed that out, and I'm, like the fitment was pretty good. I actually, it
I
was
never looked
flush.
at the fitment like up close. I only ever like saw it from afar at a takeover. See, I'm telling you, I was at those meets and people didn't even notice.
Damn.
I saw you at a gas station and everything. You were revving the fuck out of your car, and I was just like, "Why?"
Cause
I was looking
it
at the
spit flames.
Yeah, but the test pipes.
That,
I thought he was Dorian or something.
yeah. I get. Okay, a lot of my car history revolves around certain people that I can't speak about,
Yeah, fair enough.
which kind of sucks. But I found it funny now. I find it really funny. But I guess I should kind of go into a little bit of my gray Infinity. It's a FX35 all-wheel drive.
It was all-wheel drive. I thought
All-wheel
it was
drive?
I thought it was the rear-wheel drive one.
Nah, bruh.
Okay.
All-wheel drive. It had a VQ35 DE exactly the same as a 350. So a lot of the parts I ended up going to like pull apart, getting some stuff from a Z and
Back
G.
when you could actually find Z's at fucking junkyard.
Dude, for real. Now
Can't
I'm
find
like,
shit
ugh.
there now. Other than G37s or 35s.
Now there's only G37 sedan parts. I feel like I see
You can
those
still
everywhere.
use most suspension parts as long as it's not all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Cause I have never spent this fucking single dime on axles. I literally go to fucking pull apart and I got a method, and I just take them home. Okay, we just call it like that. I'll take like.
Bro has striker axles.
Dude,
Striker
I have
axles.
like. I think at the most I took like 4 sets of axles. I only kept 2 for myself and gave 2 to a friend. It's because I don't go through axles, but I mean they use the axles so they eventually break.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just swap out another one real quick that'll last me probably another fucking 10 months or so than having to go buy a whole new one. I'm like, yeah. No, thank you.
Oh my god. Well, the more you know. Nelly has a method. I pull apart.
I didn't even pull apart. It's fucking the run pulled into.
Aye, bro. I'm over here trying to say another name so you don't get like.
Oh no, it's not even that one.
Oh,
it's not that one. There's still 2 more. I'll let y'all figure it out.
that's crazy.
I'm not even the only one who came up with the method. I learned that method from some Antioch kids. They put me on. They put me on. I was gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say it.
Nah, let's save it for later.
We'll save it for later.
No, but yeah, I would get all my parts for the Infinity, and then after a while, like I was in college, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go crazy with this car because IA was coming up. Import Bowling Green.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go crazy. So nobody makes anything for this car cosmetically. Nothing. Nobody.
Not
Except
even eBay parts?
Not even eBay parts, bro.
Not even like a cheap lip? Like,
no.
What the fuck? Okay.
So I found a company in Russia.
God.
Apparently, the FX35 is like their version of the Range Rover in Russia. Like if you have an Infinity over there, you got money. And I was like, really? So they have like custom wide bodies. They have like whole body kits. They have like copies of like Fly One fenders and hoods. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get a different bumper. $700. 3 months later, it gets here. Put it on. It's like a copy of the Mercedes GLE thing.
Yeah.
Wrapped it gold. Bought BCs for it. Lowered it. Had James and Oscar help me put it on. And then I decided, fuck it. I'm going to just go on Z1 and buy everything I see for the VQ 35DE.
Oh my god.
So I got like the Takeda intake. I had some Z1 injectors.
Injectors?
Or not injectors.
I don't think Z1
No,
makes
coil
injectors.
packs. Coil packs.
Oh, yeah.
Coil packs, yeah.
Damn, I would have. She still had that car. I would have kept those.
And then I got some Fast Intentions test pipes. I had a Z1 Y pipe. And then like some stainless steel blast pipes. Which made the tone go so high. Like it didn't sound like a trumpet anymore. It sounded like a mosquito.
Yeah.
So
fucking high up.
I had some rep wheels. I'm so ashamed to say that.
That's crazy.
I had some fake Rahanas. And yeah, a lot of people said, I was like, it sounds like a very like a V10 at higher RPMs, but in the low RPMs, like 2, 3, 4, it sounded horrific. It sounded so bad with the blast pipes.
They weren't even small blast pipes. Like, they were the ones that pointed up like that for like 12 inches or something.
They were like 14-inch blast pipes.
Dude, they were massive. And there wasn't just 2. There were quads. There was 2 on each.
No, it was only one. It was only one. One each.
Oh, yeah, they're right. I'm thinking of a different car. The one you stole the idea from.
So, funny enough, there was a couple that both had Z's, the twin Z's, and they had quad blast pipes. And I wanted to be like them, so I befriended them and I found out where they got it, and I got my own blast pipes. And the rest of that story is for a different podcast.
That ain't a car podcast.
That ain't a car podcast, but regardless.
Anyways, so welcome back to...
And I also stole the window tint.
Finance. Oh.
What? I stole their idea for the gold window tint.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I stole AP's Avery Dennison gold wrap, the same shiny, sparkly wrap. Because I told him, I was like, I like your wrap, the purple, when he had the 86.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, it's Avery. And I was like, I bet.
That was Avery?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could be wrong. We can ask him.
Yeah,
whenever they get on the podcast.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Reach out still.
Yeah, so that car spat flames, had a pop tune on it.
Yep.
It was obnoxiously loud.
When we're going to a takeover and I just see Victor's car, like 6 cars in front of me on the interstate, and just.
And so you see an SUV, you're like, what the fuck?
I was just like, what the
And
fuck
it's
is
that car
noise?
going.
Victor's lucky the cops didn't chase him because this car was the most noticeable car at all of them.
And I had underglow, rainbow
Oh, yeah,
underglow.
Rainbow underglow. He had a Mario Kart car.
Yeah, and then I took everything apart and made it a daily.
Yep.
Sad. And then I sold it because it hit like 180,000 miles.
And then there's still another one sitting in the driveway.
Okay, funny enough, my mom bought that Infinity
That's funny. I was
because
wondering where it came from.
I moved out at the time, and my mom missed me so much. She was like, she went to Atlanta, bought a car, the same exact car, and parked it here because she was like, it makes me think of you whenever I miss you. So now my mom has 2 cars.
It's funny.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, bro.
What? Just a daily one. Stop dailying Z.
Well, I was dailying the black one for a little bit because I go to work downtown and back,
Yep.
but the radiator blew.
Oh, you can fix that. It takes like 2 hours.
Yeah. I have the radiator in there. It just came in today.
Oh, it's
Yeah, so I'm going to do that on Sunday.
It's just cold.
Yeah, it is just cold.
Anything that has to do with bleeding, like brake system, any fluid related stuff in the cold.
Yeah, it's not it.
It's not it at all.
And I have to do an oil change on the Z.
That's easy though.
Oh yeah, it's easy. It's just doing it. It's just like I'm lazy to actually jack out the car, get the 10 mil. And...
I can do an oil change on my Z without having to jack it up almost.
No way. You just
If
roll it up.
If I take off my front bumper, I can probably do it.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's just on the, I don't know how it is on 370s, but on 350Zs, if your motor mounts are good, I will say that, it sits about like 4 inches above the subframe, which is enough leverage for me to stick my arm in there and just crack it open real quick. And then the filter's right next to it, so just grab the pliers and that's it.
It's almost the exact same process as the Z.
Yeah.
As my Z.
But, I mean, I'll still lift it up when I do a little change, just because I usually, like, just check over everything.
Yeah.
Cause
See all the scrapes.
It's actually not as bad down there as you think. I'm telling you, it's kit low. No one believes me. The Z is kit low.
He is kit low. He actually is. I was looking at his side skirts whenever you had the car jacked up the other day.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was
like, what the hell?
Low. No one believes me. Everyone's like, your car is low. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you can see my whole tire, bro. If anything, it probably sits flush with the body.
It does. I do like your fitment. I feel like it could be better, though.
It could, but that's where it's functional. I can get it on my trailer, like, by myself. Whereas, oh, damn, I got some stories about that. About getting the car on the trailer. We'll get into it a little bit. Anyways, but yeah, I can get it off and on the trailer on its own, like, by myself, if I have to.
My car's too
I
wide.
can drive it just about everywhere. That's why you need an actual trailer.
On the U-Haul, I had a 2mm clearance on each side.
Oh, my trailer's so big, I've put them up there like it's nothing. Only thing I had to do was take off the rear bumper. And I didn't take it off the first time, I fucking cracked the bumper. Oh well. I have 3 bumpers, it doesn't matter.
Mr. Big Money over here.
Hell no, the fucking fiberglass. And then the KVD one.
KVD kit.
Yeah,
You still have an emblem on it?
I do. That front one. People got mad about that, that's funny. But I mean, realistically, KVD made the mold for you to put your factory emblem on it.
Yeah.
All it takes is 5 minutes and a little bit of double-sided tape. And you just put it right back on. People don't do it. Why?
So the world may never know. Alright, so future of this podcast. We're going... The set will change, obviously, because of the cold.
Yes.
Right now. But I will build the set, so hopefully you'll see the cool cars behind us. Hopefully it'll be like that next week.
Yeah.
If it's not
have
too cold.
A little bit of car stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Probably bring my wheels in. Just fuck it. We'll have one as a table.
Yeah, I'll probably bring the empty box or the old radiator, just have it somewhere as decor.
Just decoration.
Yeah. We'll have guests, local guests, some show cars, some drift boys, some stance boys, some race car boys.
And hopefully some supercars.
And hopefully some supercar owners.
Victor's got some connections. We just gotta figure out how to make it work.
Yes, with everybody's schedule. And this is going to be a weekly thing.
Yeah.
So,
For the most part. Except for
um,
holidays.
except for holidays, obviously, or personal stuff, but
If the school is closed, we're closed.
yeah. Nah, bro, we're like Waffle House.
Fuck no.
Unless it's like a tornado through here, bro.
No, the Waffle House will still be open. That
Waffle
one that
House.
got shot up in Antioch was open 2 hours afterwards.
Which is insane
I'm
work.
telling you, they stay open.
Insane. I was like, fuck, dude. Rest in peace to whoever died in there. Like, imagine sitting where
I
somebody
don't know the
died.
full
Like,
story. I just heard that like it got shut up, and then like 2 hours later, people were back there eating again like it was nothing.
I got threatened.
We were
There you
threatened
go.
after a race, but I mean
After
to
a
be fair,
race.
that is literally what happens in today's drag races. Like
I guess we
street
could talk
races.
about the culture, how it's changed.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah,
I went. You want to go first? I go first.
go for it. I feel like you have more
Alright,
experience, though.
I got out of school, 2019? Yeah, 2019. I didn't become like a reckless kid, but I would be out at the meets. Back then, this is back when the meets were at Cambridge Park, Powell, or / Space Park.
Damn.
Space Park used to be the one that would last the longest, simply due to the fact, I don't know if it's true or not, but the owner was okay with it. The owner actually would give us permission to be there and like do the little donuts and whatnot. I think the only condition was that you couldn't do any standstill burnouts, because then it would like leave a big mark or something. I don't really know. Cops wouldn't bother us. We wouldn't bother them. Usually you'd be out till like 2 o'clock in the morning, just having fun. 0 issues. And then it started getting reckless. I'm assuming, what was it, COVID time? I think.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think COVID
there was this
was the
huge
factor.
peak of, like, during COVID, that, like, TikToks made cars famous.
Yeah, that's what happened. That people started to like go like want to be viral, so they would do crazy stuff at meets. And then from that, it led to people running in front of cars, like, and have them do donuts around them and whatnot. Then it escalated to more stuff.
Fire pits and
Fire pits. They just do whatever they could do to get the
real
views.
takeovers, like intersections.
Yeah, and then it went literally because it all went from, at least here, it went from Space Park, Powell, and Cambridge Park, which are like little,
It was
probably
like
size,
a parking lot.
like half the size of a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
And then it escalated to some of the warehouses, which was fine. And then from the warehouses, it went to, what is it called again? The one that's like down here.
Couchville?
Not Couchville. Couchville was
Corporate?
recent. Corporate. It went to Corporate. Corporate was fine for the longest.
That was the longest
It was about
one.
a year before
No,
that
2
one.
or 3, bro.
Yeah, because that one didn't get hot for the longest. That was the last spot they would host that, and it would be the longest. I remember it'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd go home, and they were still going at it. And then from there, I think Metro caught on. And then after they kicked them out of Corporate is when the whole takeover started happening. Because then that's when they started to go over to Alonzo Pike and do all that stuff there.
In front of Bucanas.
Yeah, in front of Bucanas or what was the other one? Church Pike, something like that.
No. It wasn't Church. It was Elm Hill Pike.
I don't know. I just know it was some like
It was
random one.
It was on Bell Road and Murfreesboro Pike.
That one too. Man, this on Bell Road, it just started to escalate like crazy.
A lot of Bell Road.
There's this
spots.
one guy that got caught, and he probably snitched on his people. I won't say his name, but y'all probably know who it is. But yeah, I mean, this changed so much.
A lot.
It went from being chill and not being bothered by cops to the police literally having a task force and damn near pulling anyone over who has some sort of like modification on their car.
Mainly exhaust. Like if your car was
Yeah.
slightly loud, they would pull you over.
It almost started to get the like Cali laws type of thing.
It's chilled out a lot though.
Yeah,
since
it's chilled out a
2020.
lot after they caught most of them, and like gave them like somewhat of a scare, I guess.
So if you're not from Nashville, we had an Instagram page called Scoop.
Is he still up?
No, I mean it's still up, but like he died. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scoop Guy died.
Scoop Guy died. And
Did not know
all over 2020 through 2022, you would see, like, it was rare to see somebody getting arrested for street racing because most people would run until we got a chopper. Well, Metro got a chopper. Then they started getting, like, Camaros and Chargers to chase people. And then people started getting caught. And they were just dumb about it. They were getting caught at Bucanas Plaza. They were getting caught at, like, the AutoZone on Nolensville and Bell Road.
Mm-hmm.
That big parking lot right there. People started wanting to revive Powell, but that was getting way too hot. And then that's where the kids died, too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It was like 5 of them or something.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why the street initiative.
They started it. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
So, well, if you guys don't know, there was a red Camaro, I think, I could be wrong, filled with 4 people, 4 kids. I think the oldest one was like 18, 19. There's a black Camaro? Black Camaro, okay. Cops came in, and obviously everybody runs whenever you see cops, and they turn right. And this street is a very long street, but all the way at the end is like a little, like, hill, and it's nothing but, like, train carts everywhere. So they run, obviously, and the cops will usually just pull up and park.
Yeah.
To get people up. I don't know why.
They wouldn't chase you.
Yeah.
They would just scare you out of the spot that you were at. That's all they wanted. They just didn't want to, like, have to deal with disturbance calls.
Yeah. But for some reason, this
people
guy
would still take off.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's part of it because nobody wants their tag to be caught in a video.
Yeah, but they weren't really giving anybody tickets or anything. Unless you actually did something stupid while leaving.
Yeah.
As long as they didn't catch you in the act or you didn't do anything dumb while leaving, then they didn't really give you a ticket or anything.
Yeah, they really didn't do much.
I'm probably sure that, like, at least 6 cops fucking ran my plate at some point. I never got a letter or anything, so.
I have a story about that recently, actually, but that's later. But this cop, instead of just parking and scaring the people off, decided to chase this Camaro.
Oh shit!
And I'm thinking, this kid's 16, 17.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Gets scared, obviously. It's probably his first time being at a takeover. Drives off, and it's a straight road, and there's no lights at the end. So, I think he turned off his headlights or something to just kind of, like, run away. Lost control of the car, went over the hill, and got wedged between 2 train carts.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately decapitating the 2 in the back, and being flattened with him and the passenger. And sadly, I think all 4 of them died.
They were young, too.
They were kids.
I think the 2 in the back they were girls, no? They were like 14, 15 years old.
I think they were the girlfriends, right?
I think so.
If I could be wrong. Y'all can probably fact check this. But
Yeah, probably. But
I do believe they were girls and they were 14 or 15. Like, they were very young.
Yeah, all high school kids, basically.
Yeah.
And the cop had no reason to chase them, though. Like, normally the process is they just scare you away, but they don't chase. I don't know why they chase them. Because the car tags didn't ring anything up. It was no prior, like, felonies or misdemeanors or anything like that. They just literally decided to chase. And it ended up killing 4 people. And I think the cop got in trouble.
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Because I think the family started suing.
It became a big mess. Yeah, it became a
huge
big
mess. Which after that, I think the cops chilled out. The car scene chilled out. Yeah, no meets were hosted for like a month.
Not even. I think it was more than that. It was like 2-3 months. They didn't know what to do. They knew that they couldn't use the same spots as before. Because now the cops knew exactly where everybody was at. And when that happened, people, like, stopped leaving. Like, everybody rushed over there. Like, cops and the people all rushed over there to see if they were okay, but they saw.
I mean, how do you unwedge a car from 2 heavy-ass train carts? No, but I think that was the biggest one that happened in 2022. And then that's the only big incident I remember from the car community that really, like, impacted.
No, then there was that one dude, but this is back when Ken Rich days. The yellow 300ZX. It was this one dude who was top slider or whatever the fuck. His name's like Van something. I know it's VAN, and then I don't know the rest. He got caught being a pedophile.
What?
On his own daughter, bro.
What?
Yeah, and because of it, like the team or whatever, or the club whatever it was in, got like really embarrassed of it, and they stopped hosting for like a month or two, I think.
Holy shit.
And this is like right between Cane Ridge and corporate what would you call it?
Corporate?
Not like when they were moving on from Cane Ridge and starting to go to corporate. I don't know, transition, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess this was like the little transition, like like as they were all starting to find new spots and go to places. That happens, and then the whole club's like, it's just him. Like it's just him.
It's just him. Like we don't associate. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's literally him. They like cut him off. Like, dude, it was bad. Like they started like outing him on Facebook and everything.
Oh no!
It was wild. So I'm telling you, that whole month I think they didn't host because they didn't want to be associated with, like, in case he did show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't want to be like, oh, the pedo's here, and like, oh, there's his club and whatnot.
Ah, hell no.
That's wild though.
I remember there was a controversy with so many other teams. Like, I remember one of the OG ones was like, not Midnight Mischief, but like back when it was like handled, funny enough, by Victor.
Yeah.
That he hosted, from what I remember, one of the first takeover meets, and then came TN Streets.
They were together.
They were together for a little bit, and then they two were different.
Yeah.
Which they always hosted.
TN
at
Streets
Cane
would
Ridge.
not host, but he would post everything.
Oh yeah.
Which is what would get him. Which is why everybody would go look at his page, because they knew all the information was on there.
TN Streets walked, so a lot of others could run.
And then there was, what other ones was it? There was NFG.
Oh my
There
god.
was Kingpin. That's what it's called.
Kingpin. Holy shit.
There was NFG, Kingpin. This is back when Street Runners was still a thing and Laura was still out being a kid, basically. Who else? I think that was it. I think it was just those the main ones.
Alright, so I'm looking at some of the responses. Alright. You a Basic 335i asks, if you could buy any car for under $50K, which one would it be and for what purpose?
50K.
There's a lot you can buy for under $50K.
Yeah, there is a lot.
You could buy an M4 for under $50K.
You can get a used Viper for that price. They sell for about 30-40.
You could get a 2009 GTR for 50. That's like pushing it.
With 50 you can get a well, actually, I don't know. I was gonna say a Corvette, the ZR1, but it would probably have to be a used, like, driven a lot Corvette. I don't know.
I feel like it's only right. Like, realistically, like, Facebook Marketplace, 50K in your cash.
Okay, a car that we can realistically get,
In
that
cash.
you can probably, get in cash and find locally. Because those two cars I named probably just sit in garages. So,
Yeah.
realistically, you could... Are we including dealerships?
I feel like let's cash, but in dealerships. Like, you go in with cash. No extra stuff.
I hate to say it, but you can probably get most M's for 50K. Whether it's an M2, M3, or M4. They make decent power.
I can see you in an M3.
I don't want one. I don't like BMWs, but... If I were to get an import for 50K, that would be local. I'd probably go with an Evo, to be honest with you.
An Evo?
Yeah, like an Evo 8, Evo 9. Or, if I can find one, an Evo 4. I really like the Evo 4 body style. But it's because it's got that rally style, like actually big fog lights, you know.
Yeah.
The actual, yeah. You can probably insert a picture of it. I don't know. Probably an Evo, and then spend... Are we allowed to spend the rest of the money?
Yeah, I guess so.
You can get a decent used Evo for 20 or less, and then probably spend the rest of the money on just building the motor. Make some crazy street car type of horsepower.
If I had 50K in cash, I would go out and buy an M4. An F80 M4. Not the G, but F80. M4. Have the extra 5K tuned downpipe.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun
Just
with
take it over to my boys at Kennedy Performance.
Shout
out Kennedy.
Shout out Kennedy, but like, all Beamer boys go to Kennedy. Let's be honest. All Beamer and Super Mark V boys. Like, bruh.
Yeah. I've seen so many Supras there. I'm trying to think what other car would be nice to have locally. It's because it's hard because if it's like dealership cars, then yeah, it's pretty easy. But if you were to hop on Marketplace with 50K, a little bit harder, you know?
Yeah.
It just depends what's posted up that day, type of thing. There's always Evos for sale, but the prices are up there.
All right. What frame sent both of his cars?
Scott?
Yeah.
Mr. Fear of Dying?
Yeah, Fear of Dying, boy.
So, hold on. I saw... you're going to insert the clip of this, right? I saw this car from the start. Because me and Scott go way back to when I had the Civic. Like, me making it a, like, Stan's car. That's how far back we go.
Jesus.
When he first got it, he did slam it, and it was not crazy tilt like this. But, he had it on, they don't make them anymore. I think they were AG wheels. Or, Advent Grant, something like that.
Autohon? Or
no, not Autohon. It was like Advent Grant, something like that.
Okay.
They were, like, kind of known wheels back then. And it was really nice. But, like, after seeing it, I forgot when it was. I went over, which was recently. This shit is crazy. He doesn't have it anymore is what makes me mad. And I had helped him build a headlight, and we never got finished with the other one, which made me mad. Because at that time, I wasn't building custom headlights, but I would add stuff to headlights here and there. Like, my Civic had these one headlights that I made, like an LED strip and whatnot.
I remember that.
Which, side note, this is weird, but after I posted my Civic with those pictures of the headlights I made for it, some company came out with headlights exactly like it.
I thought you had, like, the company-made headlights.
No, me and Emmanuel with the BRZ made those headlights. Yeah.
Wow.
Because they weren't like, oh, you just took the lens off, put the strip there. No, we took the lenses off. We removed the halogen, and we actually put an actual, like, what are they called?
Like a demon eye, angel eye?
No, what are...
Halo?
Not the halo, like... Instead of it being just a bulb and shining around, it had like an actual piece of glass in there that would shoot the light.
Oh, like a magnifying glass kind of?
Kind of. We kind of like modernized the headlights in a way.
Oh, okay.
And so we did that.
A halogen? Or
no, halogen's the normal ones where it's just a bulb.
Or the Xeno?
I don't know. There's a name for it.
Yeah.
We'll just put a little typo in there or whatever. Anyways, we modernized my headlights. We put the LED strip in. It had demon eyes as well, and it didn't have demon eyes. It had the ring around the. Damn, same thing. It had the ring around the thing. Anyways, so we did that. I eventually made another model of those same headlights, but with clear housings, because they were black housing. And then I sold the car, and then I kind of got out of the Honda like Instagram feed, I guess.
Yeah.
And then one day I hopped back on like seeing current Honda stance builds, and I see that some company apparently makes headlights just like it, and I'm just like, did y'all like get this idea off of me? I'm not gonna claim like anything, but it's just coincidentally they made those after I got rid of mine.
You set a trend, bro.
And after, because a couple of my posts blew up on like big Honda pages.
Yeah.
And just so happens to be that some company that's known for making headlights comes out with Civic headlights that look just like mine.
Alright, he also sent in a picture of his other car, which is the Beamer.
I have not seen that one in person.
Me neither. But it's gangster. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. The triple spokes?
The triple spokes goes hard. I'm not
He
gonna
went through
lie.
a couple Beamers before he got on that one. He had an E36 and then an E46. I might have those backwards. But he had a couple other sedans. At one point he had two. Yeah, no, at one point he had all three cars. At one point he had the wagon, I think it was an E36, and then an E46. But he went through a lot of cars before where he's at now.
He had an E30, no, what?
Or, yeah, it was...
E38? Yeah, it was an E38.
I think the E38 is the current one. That's the current one.
Oh, that's the current one. Yeah.
Yeah. But he had other ones, which he didn't post because they were mainly his dailies.
He dailied it.
And then one he did slam, but I think he sold it right after.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the only ones we got today. I feel like we should end it off with your top 5 builds.
Around here?
Yeah.
At their peak or as it
At their
is right
peak.
now?
At their peak. Still good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Top 5. And you can choose any era.
Top 5 is great.
Any era?
Yeah, any era. That you like actually saw in person. Bonus points if they're local.
At the time, Ochoa Z. Ochoa Z33.
Yo!
That's been my
nice.
homie since middle school. But he's kind of one of the reasons I got a Z to begin with. Because he let me drive his a couple times. And I was like, this thing fucks. And then, I don't know, he built it really nice. But he didn't tell me apparently there was a lot of cookie cutter stuff on it. But, I mean, in its prime, it looked really nice. Alex's Q, even though I did give him a lot of shit for it, it was a
The
really nice
Q45?
car. Yeah. I gave him a lot of shit for it, like, jokingly. Because knowing Alex doesn't take care of his cars. But, like, if it was cleaned up, it looked really nice. His paint was actually decent.
I love the paint job on the roof.
His paint was decent. Yeah, his roof was really nice. The setup was actually pretty good all in general. And along with that, Angel does what Alex doesn't do. Angel actually dials in everything exactly where he wants it, and then takes care of how it is. Which, I mean, that's probably why he got best static at SE Nash this year.
Last year.
Last year?
Last year.
Oh, sorry.
We're in 2025.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, last year. So that's 3. AP's, was it a BRZ or an FRS?
I think it was a
AP's 86 FRS,
86 BRZ.
whatever, boxer engine car. That was peak at one point. Like, it was really nice. AP really made it look really good. It had even with all the different colors, he always made it, like, flow really well. And when it was purple, that thing was just crazy.
Oh, dude, I love the purple. Oh, we had that little wing on the back.
The 326 one?
The 326 wing was such a nice
4,
choice.
Right? It's probably going to be the only race car on the list, but CJ Civic. It's...
Oh, okay.
There's not many pictures of it out there. But once he's done putting everything back where he had it, it's top 2 Hondas around here.
Top 2 Hondas is crazy.
There's a lot of good Hondas around here, but they're all owned by like 30, 40-year-old people. It's just crazy. There's a dude, shit you not, me and Amber went to this meet in Smyrna, and there was a like 30-year-old dude who had a boosted EM1. And we were just like, where the fuck were you? We're like, where'd you come from? We've never seen you at the meets. Like, it was wild. But CJ's is really nice. CJ's is like caged, turboed, K-swapped, like the whole 9 yards, everything. That thing does not have a single eBay part on it. It is straight quality parts, and I give him props. That thing's got so much work into it. I don't think I'd ever get that level in the Z, to be honest. That thing it's wild. Dude, down to like... He even has like a custom battery box for that thing. It doesn't even look like the battery's there. It just looks like a storage container. This man, he gonna get mad at this for me saying this. But he got money. This man has T37s all the way around. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy another T and keep it in the trunk as a spare. I was like, oh, you got it like that.
That's crazy.
But yeah. What are your top 5?
I'm gonna start it off pretty good. Tommy's S2K.
Oh,
When it
dude,
was
that was
yellow.
a good one too.
When it was yellow,
Yes.
freshly wide body.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Dude, not only that, it was molded.
Molded wide body S2K. You don't see that every day. That was beautiful.
I'm glad.
I'm not a fan of the black.
I'm glad I was able to touch that car. I did all the wheels on it. I did the tires on it.
I'm so sad he never let me shoot it when it was
Dude,
yellow.
that's another thing. There's a lot of people who I've helped on their cars around here, and no one knows a single thing about it. Y'all don't know how much work I accidentally, I put into Alex's car. That he never talks about.
Talking about Alex, I would say his G setup was actually nice.
Yeah, it was pretty decent.
If he would have done the taillights.
But no, the problem,
correctly.
same thing. Alex does not take care of the cars.
He does not.
I don't know if you ever saw when he popped the hood, he cut only one strut tower and then the other one he left it uncut. Like if you're gonna,
He has a video of it.
Yeah,
Still
he does
up.
he has a video of it and whatnot. And then like the quarter had a whole bunch of Bondo, but he never decided to fix it. He just kept slapping stickers on top of it. But his fitment was really good and it looked really nice before he sold it.
It was.
Yeah.
This is gonna be kind of wild, but I feel like it low-key set the standard for kind of like how far you can push a Z, at least from what I remember, and it's gonna be Dorian's Z.
In a way, yeah.
Because I feel like his livery, although it wasn't neatly cut, it was never symmetrical. It was all over the place. The idea was there. I feel like if you see that car, it popped right out of Car X.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
He had the bash bars in the front, the back, custom headlights, fiber hood with the whole livery and the demon on there. Half-tone car.
You know I had that hood, right?
Yeah, you told me you bought it. The blast pipes, and then he had the whole molded wing on the back, which I don't think it was ever molded, but it just looked molded.
No, it wasn't. It was riveted.
Riveted on.
Yeah.
And then he had some odd set of wheels looking back. He had some questionable wheel choices, but fitment was always
To be
decent.
honest, I don't remember what wheels he had. I know he had black wheels.
He had the stock white wheels for a little bit, but then he had like some Autohans, some reps, and then he got some fake RPF ones. I think they were like ESR or something, or XXRs. I can't remember.
It makes sense because he never did.
He never did anything.
That and I don't know what she says on camera. Dorian was cheap. I remember he was because at one point he got a Miata and he was in our Miata chat. We were talking about being low, and he was like, "Yeah, my Z tire rubs on my fender well," and he sent a video and it's like a 45 sidewall. I'm like, no wonder it fucking rubs. You got a fucking stock Corolla tire on your damn car.
A 45 sidewall is kind of crazy.
Dude, it was the biggest sidewall. Like, it was massive.
I'm scared to run a 40. I'm chilling with the 35s right now.
I'm on 35s. But I have
35 is a sweet spot.
40s is a sweet spot.
I can't do 40s.
It'll rub.
My shit rubs. When I air out in the front.
No, that's when you're out.
Yeah, but it feels so much nicer driving. Wyatt's look.
Yes.
Wyatt's Miata.
Which one?
The black one.
White, yellow, pink. Not yellow.
Not the blue one. The blue one was clapped. Sorry, Wyatt.
So was the pink one.
So was the pink one. The white one was. You were kind of close.
But the pink and blue one is what got him out there.
Yes.
He had crazy tilt. It was slammed to the fucking ground.
Dude, yeah. If you wanted to talk stance,
because the blue one flooded, he reused the same parts on the white one, which is Brian's old Miata that he bought because Brian broke the exhaust and got mad and sold it for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he put those same arms, transferred it to the white Miata, and then that Miata was slammed us. Oh. I ain't gonna lie though, his LE was nice. The black one? It was a special, the limited edition one?
Yeah.
That one was nice because it had the red guts, and then he put the Bomix. No, was it Bomix? He put an old school Japanese kit on it, and it looked really nice.
Oh, dude.
He went through a lot of them, but I mean, Wyatt was like mastermind of Miatas. He still is.
I would trust him with any Miata, to be honest.
Yeah.
But now he's just been kind of like his username for a while. He won't return.
Nah, he just got back into old school cars. But I mean, that's what he
Yeah.
wanted to begin with. It's just now, I don't know, because he just finds them more entertaining. So that's 3, right?
Fourth is going to be Tiara. I was going to say, my fourth one is going to be Tiara 615 BRZ. The wide body pink BRZ that has, I think, the Pandem kit.
What? Wide body pink. Oh, I saw that on TikTok, but I don't know who it is.
She's this one.
Yeah.
So
It's bagged, ain't it?
no, bro, that's static. Which is actually kind of crazy. She's going bag. I actually saw her. Videos coming out with her though. I shot her. Pause. I shot with her.
You shot her? That's crazy. Yes, I like to report a crime.
Pause. No, I like the idea with no rivets visible on wide bodies, but they're not molded. They just kind of look.
Oh, you
part.
did the yeah. They do the hidden ones.
Yeah,
where,
they do hidden.
It sits on the back of the wide body itself. I think
Yeah.
you just drill holes into the body and then like put a nut behind it. That's what I've heard. It's the same thing with the hidden hardware on wheels. Rather than it being like bolts to go through, they put like studs in there with like Loctite, and then they slip it on, and you just put the nuts from behind.
Oh, dude, that's
I've seen it done, but it can only be done with certain faces.
Yeah.
It can't be done with all of them.
I really don't know who I would put on first place, to be honest, or my fifth one. I feel like there hasn't really been any other builds out there that really wow me. Like, if you just put a wrap and lower your car or bag your car, what are you doing?
There's a controversial one that you probably would like.
Which one?
There's two. They kind of go in the same, or three.
Spit
They're
it
all
out.
VQs, and they all do the same thing in a way.
Which one?
There's Alex G37 boosted. There's Rizzo's old 350Z that was also boosted, and there's Junior 300 Junior with the boosted Nismo.
All right.
I would have loved to see those three cars race. I heard Rizzo was making good power, but I heard Junior doesn't want to say his power.
Honestly, my money's on Junior. I'm not gonna lie.
Now I got my money on the Lexus.
That's crazy. That would be a good
The
parlay.
Lexus. I
Oh,
don't know if you keep up with the Lexus's TikToks.
Okay, I found my fifth. It's actually going to be somebody that doesn't pop out.
Who?
It ain't Kev. Kevin's Q50, the red sport.
It's because Kev gave up on cars.
Hey, all of his cars he's built is nice. Same with
the Z, the Q50, and then now has a M4, I think it is.
Yeah. Same with what's his name? Not the guy that builds cars in a week.
Manuel? Eric?
No, he had a G on Meisters within a week. Then he had a Z on bags in a week.
Oh, Rudy.
Rudy's
like that too. You know what's crazy? I still have not met Rudy in person.
Yeah, bruh. He's chill.
He seems chill.
But he doesn't pop out anymore.
Nah, that man's focused on getting his bread. I don't blame him though.
Bro has money though. I'm not gonna lie. Like building a car in less than a week.
I think he does keep a lot of old parts though and reuses them. I think. I could be wrong.
He had some Nismo wheels and some Meisters and some other 3-piece
and then
wheels.
some VSKFs.
Some VSKFs. Which, if you have VSKFs, let me know. I'll trade. Let me know.
Big money.
Wait, I think it would either be It Ain't Kev with his Q50 or the Z. Because his Z, I remember it seeing back in 2019 and 2020. I love that Z. Ah, I miss it. Or Rudy's G37 / Q50 / his 350.
Yeah.
All his builds are so clean.
Kind of how Emmanuel is too, though. Emmanuel's got a full carbon 350Z and fucking doesn't bring it out. And then the wide body BRZ. He brings out the wide body BRZ.
Yeah, he drifts it a lot.
Now that it's boosted, he'll bring it out and fuck around with it. But you know he also has an S2000 he doesn't even drive. It just sits there. But I mean, that's crazy. Is they were all like a group.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You know what's crazy? I was actually gonna steal Manuel's idea with my Z. I was gonna make it full carbon fiber.
It's not bad, but it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money
You can't
to be
really
putting
leave
on
it
the
out.
road.
You can't leave it out either, because like, well, it depends who makes the carbon pieces, but it starts to turn green or yellow if the sun hits it for like too long.
Yeah.
That's all I've heard. I'm not really
Fly
sure.
One is known
to do that.
Yeah, for yellowing, and then it turns into this shitty baby poop green.
Yep, and then you gotta send it down and re-clear it or
Yeah.
re-resin it. The re-resin part's the hardest. You gotta send it all the way down to the carbon fiber and try to not mess up the actual fibers themselves, and then re-resin it.
Yeah.
It's scary.
But alright, we are actually coming to an end here. We've actually been over for 2 minutes. So, any last thoughts? Any last things you want to say?
Check your DMs.
That's crazy. Yeah, check your DMs. Bro's gonna slide in them.
I'm gonna slide in your DMs.
His wife is behind the camera, bro. That's crazy.
I'm gonna make a little GIF of the Z sliding, and I'm just gonna send that in the DMs. It's just gonna be the Z stopping and be like, hey.
Fiance, not wife.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send the logo. If you get a DM from me with the logo, I want you here.
Well,
Also, tell us how this went.
Yeah, tell us how this
We're
went.
gonna give this a try.
Yeah.
We're hoping it goes good.
We're gonna try and be consistent every week. So we're
Yeah.
gonna film on Fridays. So if you want us to know anything or publicize anything, let us know by that week's Friday,
Yeah.
and we'll upload this probably on early morning Monday or Tuesday to start off your weeks.
The latest probably like Wednesday.
Yeah, latest Wednesday. But
Yeah. Especially like if you're like me, I know probably a lot of people who are gonna be listening to this, because a lot of people I've met through the years are now working at most dealerships around here, and well, at least in my shop, I usually whenever I'm working, I just put one of my AirPods in and then put on a podcast.
yeah.
So if you're someone who's just gonna listen to it like that, then I know that having one on Wednesday would be nice because
It's middle of the week. It's just
yeah, I like the podcast I listen to. I usually tend to go like finish all of them by like Tuesday afternoon, and then I get to Wednesday and I'm just like, I got nothing to listen to. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like I wish there was a podcast that were released every like one day of the week. It would be so amazing.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys like the video version. I'm gonna make a version where it's audio too, but
I think you just reuse the same one, to be honest.
yeah.
The at least the ones I listen to, they just reuse the same one.
Oh yeah. Production set is gonna get better, hopefully. As summer comes,
Yeah.
we're gonna have so much better. But right now, we're about to do another video for
Oh yeah.
car stuff.
The other portion of
The other portion of the video, which I don't think this is gonna make it into the podcast. I think this is just gonna make like actual like videos.
Huh? What do you mean?
Should we include the next part, like intro?
Oh, I mean,
because
yeah,
they can't see it if they just hear it. But if they watch
but
the
they
video,
can hear what's done. Like
oh yeah, I guess.
they can hear. I mean, yeah, because the one of the podcasts I listen to is the Street Alpha podcast. It's this dude who usually talks to people who are like big racers.
Yeah.
Like he talks like Dan Rue, fucking
Damn.
what's the dude with the Hellcat? Busta Lucky. He's talking to him. Like you know, like influence people who are known.
Yeah.
And they'll usually talk about their cars and like tell the specs and whatnot. Like, and I just listen to it.
Oh hell yeah.
Half the time I'm like, what the fuck is that? But I mean, still listen to it. It doesn't hurt to listen.
It doesn't hurt.
But
Alrighty, guys. Tell us how it went. Hasta luego. This was 2 beans and a car.
it's still getting over the name. It's
It'll
crazy
catch
'cause
up.
It's crazy because there's 2 cars, not one. It works.
It works. It works.
If you guys gave us a better name, we'll
Yeah.
consider it.
We'll consider it. Yeah.
But for now, it's 2 beans in the car. So,
Bye.
Alright. Adios. Oh, fuck my shirt.